Thank you for joining Wars of the Rosies. And this is Adoption, Masonic, from the Encyclopedia of Freemasonry by Albert G. Mackey. Adoption, Masonic. The adoption by the lodge of the child of a Mason is practiced with peculiar ceremonies in some of the French and German lodges, and has been recently introduced, but not with the general approbation of the craft, into one or two lodges of this country. Cavell, in his work Thus, gives the following account of the ceremonies of adoption. It is a custom in many lodges, when the wife of a Mason is near the period of her confinement, for the hospitaller, if he is a physician, and if not, for some other brother who is, to visit her, inquire about her health in the name of the lodge, and to offer her his professional services, and even pecuniary aid if he thinks she needs it. 9 days after the birth of her child, the master and wardens call upon her to congratulate her on the happy event. If the infant is a boy, a special communication of the lodge is convened for the purpose of proceeding to its adoption. The hall is decorated with flowers and foliage, and censers are prepared for burning incense. Before the commencement of labor, the child and its nurse are introduced into an anteroom. The lodge is then opened, and the wardens, who are to act as godfathers, repair to the infant at the head of a deputation of 5 brethren. The chief of the deputation then addresses the nurse, exhorts her not only to watch over the health of the child that has been entrusted to her care, but also to cultivate his youthful intellect and to instruct him with truthful and sensible conversation. The child is then taken from the nurse, placed by its father upon a cushion, and carried by the deputation into the lodge room. The procession advances beneath an arch of foliage to the pedestal of the east, where it stops. "Whom bring you here, my brethren?" says the master to the godfathers. "The son of one of our brethren, whom the lodge is desirous of adopting," is the reply of the senior warden. "What are his names, and what Masonic name will you give him?" The warden replies, adding to the baptismal and surname to the child a characteristic name, such as truth, devotion, benevolence, or some other of a similar nature. The master then descends from his seat, approaches the Lubertia, or Lewis, for such is the appellation given to the son of a Mason, and extending his hands over its head, offers up a prayer that the child may render itself worthy of the love and care which the lodge intends to bestow upon it. He then casts incense into the censers, and pronounces the apprentice's obligation, which the godfathers repeat after him in the name of the Lubertia. Afterwards, he puts a white apron on the infant, proclaiming it to be the adopted child of the lodge, and causes this proclamation to be received with the honors. As soon as this ceremony has been performed, the master returns to his seat, and having caused the wardens with the child to be placed in front of the north column, he recounts to the former the duties which they have assumed as godfathers. After the wardens have made a suitable response, the deputation which had brought the child into the lodge room is again formed, carries it out, and restores it to its nurse in the anteroom. The adoption of a Lubertia binds all the members of the lodge to watch over his education, and subsequently to aid him, if it be necessary, in establishing himself in life. A circumstantial account of the ceremony is drawn up, which having been signed by all the members is delivered to the father of the child. This document serves as a dispensation, which relieves him from the necessity of passing through the ordinary preliminary examination when, at the proper age, he is desirous of practicing in the labors of masonry. He is then only required to renew his obligations. In the United States, the ceremony has been recently practiced by a few lodges, the earliest instance being that of Foyer Masonic Lodge of New Orleans. In 1859, the Supreme Council of the Southern Jurisdiction, ancient and accepted Scottish rite, has published the ritual of Masonic adoption for the use of the members of that rite. This ritual, under the title of Officers of Masonic Baptism, Reception of a Lubertia, and adoption is a very beautiful one and is the composition of Brother Albert Pike. It is scarcely necessary to say that the word baptism there used has not the slightest reference to the Christian sacrament of the same name. C. Lewis. Thank you for watching, and please don't forget to share, like, subscribe, and comment. And if you can, please consider donating to Wars of the Rosies. Links to PayPal and Patreon are in the description. Thank you so very much.